High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/Varsity Media. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of StretchFlow and the developer of the StretchFlow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our StretchFlow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with StretchFlow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session.
Hey Mom and Dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action, plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
The Bulls are in the house. Tonight it's Wednesday Night Lights in Smithtown West as the visiting Golden Flashes of Sayville come marching in to take on the Bulls of Smithtown West in this Suffolk Division III showdown. Tonight's contest is sponsored by StretchFlow as well as Speed Island. Well, good evening, everyone. We welcome you inside the press box here at Smithtown West. Dylan Butler alongside Mike Hungerford for the rare Wednesday Night Lights, right? It's the Jewish holidays coming up on the weekend, so all the public schools on the island play on Wednesday and Thursday nights. And if you're looking for a football game with the potential of a lot of scoring, some high-octane offenses, some terrific quarterbacks, this is the game for you.
Absolutely. We've been treated to some high-scoring games already this season. This has all the makings of it, but next thing you know, there'll be some great defense played, and we'll be at 14-6 maybe, right? You never know.
Well, one thing we know, these teams can put up points and they can put them up in a hurry. It's a unique situation, too, because Sayville comes in, right? They are the standard bearer. They're defending champions, a 13-game unbeaten streak. They won the LICs a year ago, Class 3, beating Plain Edge. It's a different look for Smithtown West, right? Where they're a team that has always been in the black and blue, Suffolk 2, and now they're in that spread life here in Suffolk 3, which in many ways is a better fit for them as well.
Sure, I think in Conference 2 it was at the black and blue division. They were going at each other pretty good, right? In here it's a little more wide open, throw it around, and they have some really good skill players, and Sayville, of course, has them too. And it should be interesting to see how they all match up against each other.
Take a look at some of the Sayville guys. This is Sayville at a glance. You see last year 12-0, preseason #1, of course. Key losses, Benny Sands. What a baller he was on both sides of the football. Joey Byrne as well at D-end. Both key starters for them and their key players. We'll talk about them as this broadcast goes along. Jake Triptree and, of course, Kyle Messina as well. And that's kind of where we start, right, with Sayville, where these are guys, you see their huddle right now with Reed Sands, their head coach. It is a warm evening out here in Smithtown, but for the Golden Flashes, look, again, they can score in bunches, and I think one thing that makes them a special team, Mike, this year is they're that dual threat, right? Yes, they can air it out. There's a bunch of really fast receivers, a terrifically accurate quarterback, but also you've got Kyle Messina running the football as well, one of the best on Long Island at doing that.
Well, I think that's what makes them special is their ability to run the football, which can set up a wide open passing game. I don't know if every team can do that. You know, it was all the better teams on Long Island.
You see his numbers in Week 1 in that win over Kings Park. Not the numbers we expect of a Kyle Messina, but again, that was a warm evening, a Friday night, a lot of cramping going on. The entire team, pretty much, it was contagious. So those rushing numbers aren't quite what we're used to with Messina, but you see it there. First team All-State as a sophomore last year. He has kind of trimmed down as well, where Reed Sands thought he might be a future linebacker. He's playing in the secondary, of course, rushing the football as well. And on the other side, it's Anthony Cataldi. We saw him there. Here's a good look at Messina in the pregame. But Cataldi is another guy, right? A dual threat as a wide receiver, as a guy in the secondary as well. Already a committed player as well. So it's a deep team, I think, even though they're a small Suffolk 3 squad. But Cataldi, the Wesleyan commit, one of the best around.
Sure, Cataldi's one of those guys. Sayville just keeps churning these guys out. Like, I would say Messina's a little bit more of a generational type guy in the program, even though as good as Sayville's. But like Cataldi's just, they keep generating these players over and over again. Change the names, put them in the uniforms in the same numbers, and it's very impressive, the skill guys this keep having. And the quarterback play, the high level of quarterback play.
And we're going to see that from Smithtown West as well tonight. When we look at the Bulls, listen, a year ago they were 5-4, lost a heartbreaker to Lindenhurst. That game ended 28-27 in the Suffolk 2 quarterfinals. That was a situation where Braden Stahl, the quarterback, hits Jock LaPrairie for a 30-yard touchdown, 32 seconds left. You go for the win. You don't get the 2-point conversion. You lose by 1. And little did we know that would be their last action in Suffolk 2, right? So now they're in Suffolk 3. They're 1-1. They bounced back off of a Week 1 loss to Compsawag. They won in Week 2 against Harborfields, and here you take a look at some of their players. Preseason 4, but again, it's a whole new world for these Bulls. You can see LaPrairie right now. He's playing at Stony Brook, and Vanderbrink as well, playing collegiately at St. John Fisher.
Sure, I think the preseason seed of 4, you could leave Sayville at 1, and you could take that whole bunch of teams 2 through 8, and you could have shaken them up in a bag and rolled them out and changed up the numbers, and it could be any way. I mean, they're all there's all a lot of equality there in terms of ability of players and programs and stuff. So 4 doesn't really mean anything to me per se.
This Smithtown West team has put up 42 points plus in both of their games this year. 35 in the loss to Compsawag and 42 this week. And you can see the Bulls getting ready to make their way through as part of this home opener for them on the season. But when we look at some of the better players for Smithtown West, our players to watch here, 2 really special players, offensively and defensively, really. It's Jack Mallory. What an incredible talent he is. You see the offers that he has. These are his stats on the season already, right? That included a 16-reception game, and then Brian Hope on the other side, just the heart and soul of this Smithtown West defense.
Sure, Jack Mallory is, in my opinion, one of the very best athletes in all of Long Island, Nassau and Suffolk County, one of the very best receivers in Long Island. I would say including the private schools. We all know about some of the players in some of the schools, but Jack's a special talent in basketball as well, a great athlete there as well. And, I think we got to throw the ball to him because he's going to go get it, or he's going to get fouled and he's going to get a penalty on the play, but you got to throw it to him. And just a special combination, him and Stahl.
And you see the Bulls on their way out, getting ready to make their trip to the fields for the first time this year. Brand new field as well. We'll speak with their athletic director, Jason Lambert, about the new field as well. But, Mike, let's take a look at our keys to this game. We had a great conversation with both of these head coaches before the game and had an opportunity to just sort of pick their brains on what's important in this one. First with Sayville. They want to put pressure on Braden Stahl, right? You want to make things uncomfortable for him. You want to also be patient on offense. That's something that Reed Sands said he didn't see from his team against Kings Park.
Sure, I think
you also want to establish the run, right? That's going to be super important. Where Triptree, he's got so many talented receivers, but he wants to make sure that Messina and others get to run the football. For Smithtown West, you want to get those 2 to 3 key stops. That's going to be important. You also want to, of course, limit errors, and that's been a situation. Wins or losses so far this year, they've had issues with errors. And listen, you want to make a play or two on specials, right? Maybe an onside kick, maybe you get a fumble recovery, maybe a deep punt, something along those lines to force things as this game goes along. We'll take a quick break. We'll have the opening kickoff when we return here. It is Smithtown West. It is Sayville. It's all happening right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of StretchFlow and the developer of the StretchFlow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our StretchFlow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with StretchFlow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of StretchFlow and the developer of the StretchFlow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our StretchFlow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with StretchFlow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session.
Inside the 10 to the end zone. Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. AJ Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! End zone. Touchdown. 10-5 touchdown.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey mom and dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action, plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Smithtown West. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford, the entire Varsity Media crew here as we are set to go between two of the top teams in Suffolk Division III. It's the defending champion Golden Flashes of Sayville. They are to your left in the white jerseys, and Smithtown West in the home Blues to your right. Smithtown West will receive this opening kickoff in this stretch flow game of the week. Kickoff fielded at about the 5-yard line. And a short return there as one of the top quarterbacks on the island, really, in Suffolk County, making his way onto the field to lead this offense. It is Braden Stahl, number 12, first team All-County a year ago when he played in Suffolk 2. 2,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, has an offer from Lock Haven, a 3-year starter. Mike Hungerford.
Interesting to see how this, the Smithtown West passing game in 2 seasons, nobody stopped them. They haven't won all the games, but no one stopped their passing game. So we'll see how Sayville approaches this defensively and how they want to get after the quarterback, Braden Stahl.
There's a good look at number 12 for Smithtown West. Braden Stahl already on the season. You see there, 40 for 59, 590 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2 games already this season. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for Smithtown West. Trips left, handoff on play number 1. And pushing forward is number 14, Jason Antunes. Let's take a look at the starters for Smithtown West, the offensive starters. Joining Stahl and Antunes, you've got some terrific wide receivers in Jack Mallory, Ethan Alvarado, George Cielos, and Nick Briffa up front. It's German, Zabia, DeVito, Guerrero, and Shook. A gain of 3 on first down. 2nd and 7. Quick out, nice look. That's to Cielos. And Cielos will move the chains. Let's take a look at the Sayville defense now. We've got Francis, Watson, and the Kolar cousins, Mitch and Keith up front. Neugebauer, Sands are your 2 linebackers. You've got Hanson, Cataldi, Messina, McCann, and Hallahan in the secondary. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Another handoff, and it looks to be Antunes. Again, good-looking junior, 3-year starter as well.
So you see that Smithtown came out and ran the ball on the first play, and then they came with an RPO on play 2, and they went back and ran the ball on play 3. So they're really trying to establish the run here, and maybe calm down the Sayville pass rush and kind of mix it up a little bit instead of just going straight drop back and throw it around.
Especially with Sayville starting those 5, right? And the defensive secondary, they were kind of begging Smithtown West to try and run. This time you do again. And good tackle up front. You see the big man, number 62, Zach Watson, making the tackle.
Yeah, I think what they're also trying to do is see, how they're covering Jack Mallory, right? It's been double teamed a lot. Gets a corner and maybe a player over the top, and sometimes even triple in some ways. But trying to see if they can get that other defender closer to the box and leave Mallory on a single. And I think anytime you get Mallory in a single, you're going to try to throw him the football.
That was Woodall with the carry. 3rd and 6. Mallory in motion. Stahl looks his way, and that one incomplete. Diving towards it in coverage was Messina.
Looks like there was some confusion between Alvarado and Mallory there on the route. Mallory in motion came and ran it deeper out, and looked like Alvarado might have been in the way. So a little bit of confusion on the routes there.
So it looks like at 4th and 6 from the own 37-yard line, there will be a punt here for Smithtown West. And it goes out of bounds. And now the Sayville offense will come onto the field, and they will be led by Jake Triptree. And listen, Sayville synonymous with excellent quarterback play. And that is the truth here again. Triptree, you see his numbers. That was in week 1 against Kings Park. 14 for 20, 238, and 2 touchdowns. Trinity, Marist, and Lafayette are his offers to this point. Good-looking senior, 6'2", 185, was an all-state selection a year ago when he threw for nearly 2,600 yards, 31 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. So 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Here comes Messina on 1st down. Gets it out toward midfield to about the 49-yard line. Let's see who joins the offense along with Triptree. We just mentioned Messina as well. Your receivers are Hanson, Kent, Cataldi. Tight end is Mikey Sands up front. Garrett, Wyatt, Neugebauer, Del Giorno, and Caparoso. A gain of 2 on 1st down.
I think Sands is the key to their running game. You know, the ability of him to block in the box.
That ball up in the air and intercepted. Michael Cassione. He got a piece and makes a great return. First big play of the game goes to the Bulls on that Cassione interception.
Team that makes less mistakes in high school football usually wins, and the first big play or big error by one team is made by Sayville, or a great play made by Smithtown West, however you want to look at it. That ball was in the air, was deflected, and then caught in a big return.
Cassione, tremendously athletic, played varsity basketball as a freshman, was a starting shortstop for the baseball team. 2nd interception of the season, and that sets up Smithtown West with some unbelievable field position, starting their 2nd drive from the Sayville 18. And Tunis motions to Stahl's right hip. Stahl, plenty of time, goes in the air, finds his receiver, and he's out at about the 2. Ethan Alvarado.
Solid route and good pitch and catch right there from Stahl to Alvarado. You can see the coverage bailing a little bit right there.
This will set up a 1st and 3. You take a look again at the route. Nice tiptoe along the sideline, trying to get a couple extra yards out of it for the senior. Handoff. It's Antunes again, and a good-looking tackle by Tommy McCann.
McCann coming down the line, squeezing that down and making the play shorter to goal line. Probably got 4 shots. If you had Smithtown West, 4 shots at it right from here. They have a very capable kicker. But you want to get 7 right now if you're them. If you're the Smithtown West over that turnover.
2nd and goal from the 2. Antunes, a little stutter step and hesitation, and he is pushed backwards by a host of Sayville players. McCann again in the middle, as well as Mikey Sands.
A lot of weakage up front right there. Good defensive play by the Sayville, good play by the Sayville defense, and he got back to the line of scrimmage barely, only by him making guys miss right there. There was a lot of contact in the backfield.
3rd and goal. 4 down territory for Smithtown West. Stahl now uses Antunes as the blocker, goes end zone, touchdown! Jack Mallory, 2-yard touchdown reception. And that's exactly what you said, Mike. You get the interception, and you turn that into 6 points.
Great route by Mallory on the in and out route, the whip route. Great route by Mallory right there. Man coverage down by the goal line. He's a very tough cover anywhere on the field, but very tough in small spaces right there. Stahl knows right there he's got man coverage of Mallory, and he's going to get open. Great footwork on the route, great hands.
Another touchdown for Mallory. And now here comes the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. James Martino with the PAT. So Smithtown West draws first blood. They take a 7-0 lead, 5:51 left in the first quarter. You're watching this Suffolk Division III showdown presented by Stretch Flow on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus,
we welcome you back to Smithtown West High School. 7-0 the lead for the hosts. Their home opener on the season. That Cassione interception led to that 2-yard touchdown pass from Stahl to Mallory. And now Sayville looking to respond here with some pretty good field position.
Sure, Smithtown went onside kick right there, and Sayville handled it pretty well. So first down for Sayville. Great field position on their own 44-yard line.
So already seeing two of those keys, right, that we saw from Smithtown West. Craig Perino saying that he wanted to get some stops and some key plays defensively and maybe something on specials, right? So you try something there out of the trick book. As the officials having a discussion here on, I think, kind of where the ball or the placement of the football. They'll have the conversation now with the Smithtown West sideline, the coaching staff.
You know, Dylan, I think it's important for Smithtown West to be as stiff as they can against the run without having to dedicate too many players to it. If they can get by with six players in the box and kind of hang in there, it'll go a long way to them being in the game.
Triptree finds a receiver to the outside, and that is complete. Let's take a look. We didn't get a chance to shout out the Smithtown West defense because they made a great play on their first before, right? So here you can look at them. Up front, you've got DeVito, Lynch, Cantalupo, and Antunes. Your linebackers are Hope, Zins, and Fitzpatrick. In the secondary, a really good secondary. Briffa and Nicholas are your corners, and Mallory and Cassione are your safeties. 5-yard gain there on that pass. So it's 2nd and 5 from the 49-yard line. And a flag. And this should be coming back as Triptree. Looks like there's some movement on the offensive line.
Oh, what happened there? You had the man in motion. It looked like he turned up the field before the ball was snapped. So illegal motion right there. You can't do that. It's a timing situation right there, Dylan, you know. Ball's got to get snapped before you can turn up the field. Eliminates a pretty good run by Sayville right there, though.
And then again, that's what we said, a key for them here today. And you would argue maybe a bigger key for West, right? They haven't really been able to run. They last year that was a big issue with Smithtown West, where Perino was pretty blunt about it. So, you know, our running game was not very good a year ago. So that was a big point of emphasis in the offseason. 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line. Triptree rolls right, finds his receiver. It's Cataldi. And Cataldi taken down by Fitzsimmons.
Good looking play right there by Sayville. Sprint action by the quarterback. Cataldi runs it out. And this coverage on that side was a little soft before the snap. And the defender bailing a little bit, so they're able to make pitch and catch right there and get a first down on 2nd and 9.
Now this gets Sayville to the Smithtown West 46 and a fresh set of downs as well for the Golden Flashes, who make this rare trip to Smithtown West. These two teams haven't played each other since 1990. Your boy was back in high school in the day, 1990, going to St. Francis Prep. Here comes Messina our way, up the sideline, cuts it up. A host of tacklers as he is stopped at the 40-yard line.
Good job by the offensive line of Sayville on the right side right there, just getting the edge And if you're Smithtown West, you got to stiffen up on that edge a little bit and turn that play back inside. Gain of 5. And I think Sayville's a team, if you give them, second down and favorable yardages, 5 or less, the playbook's going to be wide open. And you got to get them into that longer yardage situation on second down and maybe take some of that Messina run threat away when you can.
The Messina Magic a year ago, he rushed for over 2,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, first team All-State. Has an offer from Stony Brook as well. Empty backfield this time and plenty of protection for Triptree. Rolls out right, looking for receivers. He's picked off. It's Mallory. So Mallory gets the touchdown on one side, the interception on the other. His third of the season. And Mallory's fingerprints are all over this early start for Smithtown West.
It's a big part of it, I think, for Smithtown defense. They're able to let Mallory play free safety and just read the quarterback and play with instincts and play with athleticism. And I don't think that was a great decision by Triptree right there, in my opinion. Just kind of rolling and kind of threw into traffic, and there was Mallory making the play.
Yeah, I think when Sayville goes back and watches that, there were 3 Smithtown West defenders, 2 wide receivers for Sayville. Numbers just weren't there, and it was underthrown, and Mallory was able to pick it off. So 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Second INT for the Bulls as Stahl gets back on the field, has another target. Of course, it's Mallory. Gets it up the sideline, moves the chains, gets out to about the 48.
I think when you're dealing with somebody like Mallory, like you were dealing with some of the receivers we saw last Friday night over there at Cy Donnelly Field, you're going to give the underneath up because you don't want to give the over the top, right? You don't want to get beat over the top, and they'll take that all day long. And I think it's just really important, if you're Sayville now, to kind of settle in defensively and use the length of the field to your advantage and get a stop here.
Mallory offers from Trinity and St. Anselm. He's on the board of some Ivies, including Cornell. Faked handoff, Stahl dumps it over the middle. Another target. And he finds Silos, the junior. Lost his helmet, so he will come off for the next play.
It's amazing how when Stahl looks, how many eyes in the defense look at Mallory. And there he is, sits himself down in there, Silos, and it's all of a sudden open just on eyes and bodies moving just very slightly in other directions.
Well, that's what the other guys can do, and Stahl does a good job of finding all of his guys, right? Utilizing Alvarado, Silos, Briffa, Nicholas as well. 1st and 10 from the Sayville 37-yard line. This time Stahl hands off. Nice looking run by Woodall, the senior. His nickname, of course, Speedy. And that's what he brings when he plays. Good combination there with Antunes, right? Antunes more of the bigger back, and and Woodall, more of that shifty back.
Sure, tackle there by Sands, from this linebacker spot. But, that's a great gain on 1st down. And a team that likes to throw the football, put themselves in a 2nd and 5-yardage situation is really good. And that's the kind of running game I think they need to try to keep establishing and stay with that a little bit.
A gain of 6 on that play. Another fumble, though, on this play, and looks like Sayville has picked it up. And you give credit. It's a big 56, Jackson Neugebauer.
There was some penetration in the backfield. You see on the replay, we'll see some penetration in the backfield, and look like a little strip right there. Number 51's involved, Francaise in the backfield. Looks like he's got a little hand in there. Ball comes loose, and huge play by the Sayville defense.
And Neugebauer wearing that special number 56. We'll speak about that as this game goes along. It's one of the 2 numbers that are special in this program, 56 and 9. 9, of course, now this year's quarterback, Jake Triptree, the recipient of the Mitch Cangelosi Award. So 2 turnovers forced by Smithtown West, 1 now by Sayville. And here comes Messina. Gets to the secondary, and he will move the chains.
That's a great decision by the Sayville coaching staff. Like, let's just settle ourselves in, right? Let's just settle in, give the ball to the man, and let him run around with it a little bit and settle everybody down and get organized offensively and take a deep breath.
Thought a nice block on that play by Mikey Sands.
I was saying before, Dylan, on the play that got the first interception, I wasn't able to finish it. I think Sands is a very big key to their running game because his ability to in the backfield to play a tight end and block bigger people on the edge. You know, he's good looking in pads, but he's really about 180 pounds, or a little bit more than that. But his ability to block bigger people on the edge is key to the Sayville running game.
We got 1 quarter in the books. And Smithtown West with a 7-0 lead over Sayville. We'll take a quick break. You're watching this Suffolk Division III Showdown presented by Stretch Flow on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Solomon Thomas with the New York Jets, and you're watching Varsity Media.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of Stretch Flow and the developer of the Stretch Flow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our Stretch Flow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with Stretch Flow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session.
We welcome you back to Smithtown West. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here with you. 7-0 the lead for the Bulls over the defending Long Island champions, Sayville, here on this Wednesday Night Lights edition in Suffolk Division III. A rarity, right? Wednesday Night Lights, but we're certainly excited to bring that to you here tonight.
Sure, weather's really cleared out. We had a little rain here about 5 o'clock when I got here. My windshield wipers were doing overtime.
Yes.
Working a little overtime, but it's really cleared out. We got a beautiful night here, and the humidity's down. And maybe not in the press box, but you could, on the field, the humidity's down a little bit, and you can feel it's a great night for football, a great September night.
It is, and it's an exciting matchup. 2 of the top 4 preseason seeds. And let's take a look at those preseason seeds now, and you can see Sayville, preseason 1, West Hampton. Those 2 teams met in last year's county final. East Islip always, right? Sal Ciampi always has those guys going. Smithtown West, 4 Hills West. Filardi, right, airing it out there. And this is a division, again, as we spoke with Craig Perino, the Smithtown West coach, that I've never been in a division before that had so many quality quarterbacks who had great receivers and multiple players to throw the football to. And it's a new world, again, as we said in the beginning, for Smithtown West.
And the quarterback talent filters down through all the way through the conference. I mean,
yeah.
Comstock, the 8th seed, has an excellent quarterback in West. So, you could all the way down through, you got great quarterback play, top to bottom.
So here we go, off of the stoppage of play. We start the second quarter with Sayville starting out on their own 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for this high-octane Golden Flashes offense. Another handoff. There goes Messina. Look out. You can't get him into that edge, man. Once he gets in open space, he's a tough guy to bring down. Moves the chains again.
Good run by Sayville right there. They ran to a 7-man box from West, and they were able to get him all blocked up, and Meloria's got to come from his free safety spot to make a nice tackle. He has to make that play right there. It could be 6 for Sayville.
Reed Sands, Sayville coach, as Messina went the opposite direction than I thought he would. Thought as a freshman when he was starting here that he'd beef up and maybe be more of that future linebacker collegiately, but he's actually trimmed down. Looks like he wants to be a running back. Also plays, as we've seen in this secondary now. He moved him from linebacker to strong safety.
Somebody like a player like him who play close to the ball when he's younger and plays further away as he gets older will be some tackler.
Triptree to the outside and cuts it in and dances out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Good looking run by Triptree, and that's another aspect of his game that we don't see a lot. Such a great pocket passer, but reads the situation well. There you saw it. Was able to get out and get a nice big run.
Sure, quarterback run. Pulling a lineman and the sniffer. on the quarterback, power or counter right there, and you're getting him out in open space. And when you get the quarterback running the ball, you get an extra blocker in the game, right? Usually the quarterback's unaccounted for, but by having him run the ball, you get an extra blocker, and tough to defend.
1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Handoff. Messina breaks a tackle, and he's finally pulled down by Nick Briffa, but not before. He gets, looks like, to the 10. So a first down. The question is, it's going to be a goal situation. 1st and goal from the 10.
Sayville up front, 5 new starters right on the offensive line this season.
Yeah, everybody's brand new on the line. You had to move Neugebauer from a tight end to center, but yes, that entire front 5 graduated a year ago.
Good job so far up front, and taking care of business and getting the Smithtown West guys blocked up front.
Messina, great cut, touchdown Sayville. Kyle Messina, the 10-yard touchdown run.
Great little cut there by Messina. Winding it back just a little bit, just enough. And you see by his greatness right there, his ability to score those, make those plays and have that vision.
For Messina, touchdown number 2 on the season, a year after 30 touchdowns for the Golden Flashes. We'll see it again.
Finds that little cutback lane in there, and there it is. So the fumble kind of looming large, getting the ball back to Sayville and giving him a middle of the field to work with and be able to drive and score.
This is Nick Watson, 4 of 6 from PATs in week 1, and that one is up and good. So listen, we've seen this, right? It's the turnover battle and which teams are able to capitalize. And Sayville is a program that is a rich history. We know that, and they are a team that is so used to greatness at Sayville. Take a look at this golden era, if you will, for the Golden Flashes, and some incredible numbers there. Look at this, 7 Long Island championships, including last year against Plain Edge, 16 Suffolk titles. They just completed their 7th undefeated season, 5 Rutgers trophies as well, 41-2 in the last 5 years, and they have that current 13-game winning streak. It's not quite that Garden City 35 game, whatever it is right now for GC, but Sayville, man, they got it cooking out here in Suffolk County.
Sure, Sayville is a football town. When you go to a home game on a Friday night, there's dozens of kids running around their jerseys, and it's really a football town. Hats off to them and what they have going there, and it's been going on for a long time, and you get the feeling like it's not stopping anytime soon. No end in sight.
Said, right? Yeah, and that's where you when you get it from the youth level and the buy-in there, you see it in multiple sports, right? You get a lot of those youth lacrosse guys out at Farmingdale youth lacrosse programs. Same is true on the football programs, and listen, a lot of these guys also play lax as well in the spring, but this is their sport, and they do it really, really well. Watson's kickoff is fielded at about the 18-yard line, and a short return, only about 5 on that one. So now let's see what the response will be from Stahl and the Smithtown West offense.
I think on specials, when you're returning kicks and punts against Sayville, you got to get as much north-south as you can right away, because they have good team speed on their specials, and trying to run east-west as you saw there, they're able to get to the football pretty quick. That ball was in the air for quite a while. It was wouldn't say it was super deep, but they were able to get underneath it and hold the Smithtown guys to a 25-yard starting point. Pretty good.
Smithtown West head coach Craig Perino, second year, says, listen, when we play mistake-free, he thinks we're pretty good. But even in their win Saturday, too many mistakes, unforced errors, penalties, blown coverages, and you can't do those kind of things, certainly against Sayville. Nice looking pass to Mallory, and you get the athlete into space, and Mallory does the rest. A lot of yak, as you call it, and he gets the first down.
Good job bringing Mallory underneath in that middle screen look and getting the ball in space and letting him run around. And he's a guy, he's a running back with the ball in his hands, so you got to give him as many touches as you can. And, that's a way to get it to him and let him run around with it.
Mallory's a 4-year varsity starter. Started as a freshman at Smithtown East. And the Mallory family took the short move. I don't even know if you need moving guys for that. to get over to Smithtown West and has started from day one here in his last 3 years.
Sure, his sophomore year cut short a little bit due to injury, but he's some player.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Antunes gets motioned over to the right, acts as a blocker, throwing over the middle, and that one is complete right at the big block S. It's Silos.
See, if you're looking at it just from a purely X's and O's standpoint, that's a running play for Smithtown West right there. Just pitch and catch, throw it to him, sit it down, catch it, get tackled, go down right away. I wouldn't say stole is the wrong word, but you just acquired 7 yards right there. That's their version of a running play in many ways.
You've got trips right for Smithtown West. Alvarado is the lone receiver at the top of your screen.
Well, you got 4 over 3 down here with Sayville because Mallory's in the middle there of that trips formation, and they're going to try to put 2 men to him, I would assume.
Stahl pressured, gets it out, finds Alvarado, cuts it upfield. Look at this run by Speedy inside the 30-yard line. And hey, listen, that's the way to read the defense, right? Like you said, 4 on 3 on one side. Let's get it over to Alvarado on the other.
Great route run by Alvarado, and then making a man miss, right? Great move, great run after the catch. Great move. Comes back to the ball, squares up on it.
Alvarado, the offer from Limestone, a kid who was in the district, went to North Carolina, now back again for his senior year. 11 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the regular season. And this sets up a 1st and 10 from the Sayville 30. Stahl lobs it over, looking for Alvarado, and that one is incomplete. Like the idea, though.
Yeah, sure. Go back to Alvarado. He's got the best. He's got a good situation to throw it to. Right, it's a little too much on that one, but I think Alvarado needs to play right here. But asking for a sub right now. But he's got a great matchup. What I like about the Smithtown West passing game is they're not forcing it. It's not forced to one player or 2 players. It's Stahl's going to spread it around and throw it to whatever the best matchup is. And I guarantee he finds his way back to Mallory soon, though.
Spelling Alvarado, who's now getting stretched out on the sidelines. Max Nicholas, he's up top now. Stahl, deep drop, finds another receiver. It is Antunes, who's pulled down inside the 25.
Still backpedal there on the screen to get it to Antunes, and good gain right there, leaving them a pretty manageable 3rd and 3 and change right there, pretty manageable down. Judging where you are on the field at the 24-yard line of Sayville, you probably have 2 downs right here.
3rd and 4. As Antunes, the 3-year starter, had a great offseason in the weight room. And Antunes to Stahl's left for this 3rd and 4. Dumped over middle, and Mallory, he will catch everything in his radius. He gets it to the 19, and that is a 1st down. A 3rd down conversion, and a big one for Smithtown West.
Just sits over to sits it down. That little route right there, circles up, sits it down. Just knows where he has to get on the sticks. Boom right there, pitch and catch. Once again, another version of a running play, right? Just here, you take it and short pass and get a 1st down and keep the chains moving if you're Smithtown West.
So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line as Stahl is cooking right now. It's an inexperienced Sayville defensive line as well. They graduated all on that line, experienced on this offensive line. And there's a look for Mallory, looking for a flag, not given on the play. You can see on coverage, Tony Cataldi, number 11.
Yeah, boy, I think was a little bit, I don't think we'll call it uncatchable, a little bit more out of bounds there. I'm not really sure. There was some contact, but officials decided that wasn't enough to warrant a flag. But with all this pass rushing off the Sayville defensive line, this is where you can slip a run in. Well, you get guys either not reading their keys on the defensive line, a little tired, maybe a little gassy, easier to block. Might be able to slip a run in here if you're Smithtown West.
Great thing, too, if you're Smithtown West, your tackles, German and Shook, neither allowed a sack last year in their positions. They'll motion Alvarado. Now the pressure comes. Stahl dunks out of that. Looks end zone. Jump ball. Incomplete. Mallory was going for Cataldi again in the direction. I think there was a second defender there as well. We'll take another look, Mike.
Yeah, when Mallory's got coverage right there, I think he just got to throw it up to him and see if he can make the play because he's so talented getting with the ball in the air. They called him out of the back of the end zone. I guess they called his body landed out of bounds.
And also want to give credit to Zero. You saw there Donovan Bartolotta, the junior, making the defensive play. We will reset the clock. Official saying to 5:20 in this second quarter as Smithtown West threatening to put some more points on the board. A 3rd and 10.
Mallory's a rare player that when he's one-on-one, he's not really covered. Throw it to him anyway and see if he can make the play. Comes down with so many great circus catches that one-on-one isn't really covered.
So now you got trips left with Alvarado back in the game, your lone receiver, at the bottom of your screen.
A lot of green for Alvarado.
The pressure comes, the dump over the middle. It is to Mallory, and he is tackled by Messina.
Messina coming down from the safety position right there. Sniffs it out, is able to get Mallory on the ground.
So that'll be a no gain, which brings up a 4th and 10.
No, it's 4th and 10, but you know.
Well, even if you don't get it, you've got the field position, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world if you're Smithtown West.
And you only need 10 here. You don't have to go to the end zone. You don't need a whole. You need almost 11 now.
Stahl, quick out, diving catch, Alvarado. He is right at the sticks, and that'll be a 1st down.
It's going to be very close. I actually.
Oh, Alvarado for arguing. Looks like he'll get thrown. He'll get the flag. So he didn't like the spot, made it known to the officials, but that'll be after the play. So they're going to still measure this out.
I know it's high school football and it's high school officiating and they're doing the very best they can, but where the official came in from there at that angle, I'm just not sure he could see maybe where the ball actually went. Was it when it hit the ground? He did the best he could do. And I think that's what got Alvarado frustrated was he put the ball down what maybe seems to be short.
So we'll see the measurement. We'll get a nice look here from our Varsity Media cameras. Bartolotta, look out, buddy. Oh, just shy. So Sayville will get the ball, turnover on downs, and now you've got to add, likely, right, 15 to that.
Yep, you got to probably add 15 right there for whatever was said to the official there.
So big momentum shift now for Sayville here in the final 4:27 of this first half.
Good drive by Smithtown West right there. You stall out a little bit. I would like to have seen them try to slip a run in there maybe along the way. See if they could pop it a little bit. Also work the clock a little bit. Try to give Sayville a little bit less time on the clock. Sayville had 2 possessions where they had 2 turnovers. They had 2 interceptions. And then they had a drive off the fumble, which they scored. So this is really only their 4th possession of the half.
And they'll be at their own 24-yard line. See both teams with 3 timeouts. And there's Messina and Triptree. What a great combination those guys have been for a few years. Cataldi is in motion. And we've got some whistles. Let's see, I think it might be another clock situation. And it will be, so the official, no flag on the play, just looking to figure out what this number will be that they'll reset the clock to.
Well, we haven't had the anticipated shootout yet, Dylan. You know, it's 4:13 to go, or maybe a little more than that before halftime, and it's 7-7. But there's been no shortage of exciting plays, that's for sure.
So 4-2-0 on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for Sayville. We'll be joined at halftime by Smithtown Athletic, easy for me to say, Athletic Director Jason Lambert. Quick out, terrific tackle. Briffa reads it really well as he cuts down Noah Jabor.
They had very soft coverage on the slot. I thought the slot just could have ran it out rather than running that flat route, and they could have gotten more yardage. But he ran that out, and great play by the corner right there, come up making the tackle, hold him to a 2-yard gain.
Briffa, a kid, a senior, does everything right. Two-year starter for the Bulls. Offensively, he stalls safety blanket out there. So that'll be a gain of 2 on 1st down.
Really pretty much a 6-man box here. I'm surprised that Sayville's not trying to run it.
Triptree looks, did he get it or was he out of bounds? The intended target was Dylan Kent, but he was out of bounds when he made that reception.
Good job by the corner, just forcing the route into a very narrow window, right? It'd have to be a perfect throw up on the sidelines. Ball incomplete.
Yeah. So a 2nd and 8.
Easier said than done, but when those corners have good alignment and good footwork and they can squeeze the receiver to the sideline there, it forces the quarterback to make a perfect throw for a completion, and you saw the incompletion there.
So flag against Sayville, which will back them up now. So all those yards that we said before that Smithtown would have had even when they turn over on possessions, well, they'll get that back now.
I don't know who's sure that penalty was on, but certainly it backs Sayville up quite a bit.
Here comes the run to the right side. Now is Triptree.
Flag down again, Dylan. I like that quarterback run, though. You get the extra blocker. You use Triptree as a runner. It's going to be a hold. That's a spot foul, but I like the extra blocker engage, use Triptree, and try to outnumber him coming out of the box.
So offensive holding penalty against Sayville. That'll push the Golden Flashes back. And again, spot foul right here in the high school game. So Sayville back to their own 20.
Groundhog's Day here on 2nd down for a few downs, but a little short of 2nd down right there for Sayville. Now 2nd and 14. I think it was about 2nd and 21 or 20 the last time. So
Luke Hansen, your lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Sands was in motion, handoff. There's Messina. Good looking carry by Messina, gets many of those yards back, which sets up a very manageable 3rd down.
yeah, that's a great run by Messina, giving him 3rd and about, a long 1, almost a short 2.
Oh, it's a movement up front. Smithtown West able to get back.
They got over the ball pretty quick. They're looking at the defense.
Triptree Gets the first down and some more. Taken out at about the 50-yard line as Sayville moves the chains.
See, running trip tree there with the extra blocker, right? And the blocker's Messina. Gives him good numbers. Makes a man miss. Mallory slows him up.
Always good, too, when you see your center making that run up the field as well. You saw 56, Neugebauer.
Sayville's got a little drive cooking here just on the ground, and they really have enough time with a couple timeouts to punch one in here before halftime.
Another handoff. It's Messina. Breaks the first tackle, cuts inside, finally taken down by a pair of Bulls. But he's getting like 7-8 yards a clip, it seems like right now.
Well, this is the Sayville playbook, right? This is what they do. They'll wear on you a little bit. They'll use Messina. They'll grind on you quite a bit. We've seen this a lot in Conference 3 in Suffolk. They'll give you Messina, and then just when you're really selling out for the run, they'll get a great matchup in the passing game. And Trip Tree's very accurate, and they'll get a big play in the pass game.
Now Trip Tree. He is elusive, spinning, turning, and getting the first down.
Got the edge there a little bit. The Smithtown West defensive ends, they may have a halftime adjustment in their alignment. If they hold that edge a little bit more to prevent Trip Tree from turning the corner there.
Sayville calls the timeout. You can see some of our broadcast schedule here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A big one on Saturday afternoon as St. Joe's Montvale makes the trip to St. Anthony's. All part of that battle for the bridge. Same is true of Paramus Catholic. The Paladins coming to take on Chaminade. And then a week from tomorrow, it is Iona St. Anthony's, rematch of last year's CHSFL AAA championship game. Sayville, Hills West, some more terrific quarterbacks there. Bayshore and Connecticut as well. And then it is the rivalry to end all rivalries in the Catholic League. St. Anthony's, Chaminade from Gold Star Stadium in Mineola.
Hills West with a big win over East Islip. That combination of Filardi to Rayo.
Yeah.
Is both juniors.
Talk about some other terrific lacrosse players, right, who are doing their thing in the gridiron.
Sure, both two highly, I would assume to be highly recruited players in the pool. And Rayo, a midfielder, and Filardi, a defenseman / LSM. And very productive duo in football as well.
You want to get that QR code there on the top left. Follow us on our social media handles at Varsity Media. So let's see off the timeout. 1st and 10 from the Smithtown West 33-yard line. 1:09 left in this first half. There's Messina. And getting the first piece was Nicholas, number 1. But he's still able to get a couple more yards after that, does Messina. Again, last week, just 8 carries for 39 yards with a touchdown, a couple of receptions. Was really cramping up heavily in that one, and he is feeling pretty good here tonight out in Smithtown.
Landon Garrett at left tackle has had a couple good blocks in a row on the edge there, just driving his man off the line of scrimmage with a pretty good size advantage.
Yeah, he is a beast.
6'5". You have to widen your alignment a little bit at the end and sort of give yourself a fighting chance to take half of them.
Triptree airs it out, and it's knocked down. Good defense by Smithtown West on that one. You saw Mallory in there as well as Cassione, who they both have interceptions in this first half.
Now listen, I think Sayville's a very well-coached team, and I maybe they've mentioned it to Triptree already, or they will at halftime, but can't put that ball in the air too long with Mallory around. Just the same, you can't leave it in the air too long with the Sayville DBs with somebody like Messina playing safety, right? And you're going to have to, drive it there, but don't leave it in the air too much because he'll come over the top after it.
A 3rd and 1 for for Sayville. Triptree back to pass. Airs it out again. Has a man in Cataldi. Touchdown, Sayville. 24 yards from Triptree to Cataldi.
Great route by Cataldi I didn't actually see him from the beginning of the round. I'm not sure if they had a mistake in the coverage there or Mallory was over the top late. I don't think that was his primary responsibility there. So we'll see. But a very, very accurate ball thrown by Triptree.
Now you saw Cataldi gets in the end zone. His first touchdown of the season. Only a pair of receptions in that Week 1 win, as another timeout here by Sayville. And I think he didn't have enough numbers on the field. You coaches hate that, right? Like, you don't want to waste the timeout because of not having the right personnel on the field.
It's always that there's one more guy maybe he's on extra point, but he's not on offense, and he gets all excited when they score and he's celebrating, and you're like, come on, man, like, you gotta know.
So Triptree throws his third touchdown of the season. Finds Cataldi 24 yards, and now
really a huge touchdown by Sayville, considering they were going to be getting the ball coming out of halftime, right?
Nick Watson on for the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. So it's Sayville taking a 14-7 lead with 17 seconds left in this first half. Pretty cool thing, Mike, they did here in Division III. You had Media Day. So you had all the schools, all the football programs. You brought a few of your key players. You brought their coaches as well, and a chance to meet the various members of the media. I thought this was such a brilliant idea by Suffolk Division III. Really think this should be utilized throughout all of Long Island.
Yeah, I think the coach from West Hampton was one of the key people in setting it up.
Yeah, Brian Schaumloffer. Yeah,
Schaumloffer was setting it up, and it's a great concept. I think it will be copied by other people in other years, and certainly other sports maybe in this year. I think it's a very cool concept. It's great for kids, and anything that's good for kids, I think, is very cool.
Yeah, listen, we're in the business here at Varsity Media of trying to get out to your schools and get your kids coverage. That's a great way to do it, right? Like, it is a buffet for us at Varsity Media. Get all the key guys in division. That's so much fun.
A lot of kids get to do this once, twice. I mean, if you're Messina, Carl Messina, you do it 4 times. But you know what I mean? Could be if you're Jack Mallory, you do it 4 times. But time goes by, lifespan goes by quick, and you want to have a great experience. And I think that gave the kids a great experience a day like that.
Alvarado returns it to about the 32. So let's see here if Stahl makes another look here. You do have some timeouts in your bag of tricks here if you want to utilize them for Craig Perino. Again, we mentioned before, Craig in his second season back where it started. Started at Smithtown West as an assistant, was then the head coach. Went on to be the head coach at Ward Melville, an assistant at Rocky Point, the Rocky Point head coach. William Floyd assistant, the interim Smithtown West coach, and now the head coach for a second time. Perino, a graduate of Center Reach, 1987.
Well, they're going to rush 3. I don't think they're going to let you throw. Not going to let you throw it deep. They got guys 40 yards down the field, so you got to throw me something underneath.
And Stahl will take the knee.
Smart play, I like it. Let's just get to halftime and come out and figure out how to play a little better defense in the first series, get a stop, and get the ball back.
So your score at halftime, it's Sayville with a 14-7 lead over Smithtown West. You're watching this Suffolk Division III showdown presented by Stretch Flow right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of Stretch Flow and the developer of the Stretch Flow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our Stretch Flow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with StretchFlow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. AJ Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! End zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Run by Tully up the middle. Jack Tully to the house. Touchdown, Chaminade.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/Varsity Media. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hey Mom and Dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action, plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome you back here to Smithtown West. It is halftime here as Sayville leads Smithtown West 14-7 in this Suffolk Division III showdown. Dylan Butler here. We welcome you inside our booth with my good buddy Jason Lambert. At one time, back in another generation, he was the Smithtown East lacrosse coach, winning county championships there, and was my one-time broadcast partner as well for a couple days. And I think it was his work with us doing the broadcast that actually helped him become the AD.
Absolutely.
People must have seen it, knew his abilities and
That's it.
His brilliance, and he's now with us here at halftime. Jason, thanks so much for joining us, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that introduction, and I'd be very remiss if I didn't say that I did get my start here when we were one school in this locker room in this building, and we did win a county championship here in 2003, my first year too. So I grew up wearing blue, and then I finished up wearing red. All good.
This is a fantastic atmosphere here tonight. It's the home opener, and listen, we're detailing what the football teams are doing, but there's so much else happening.
Yeah.
All the support staff here as well, and it makes for an incredible evening here.
It does. It's a tremendous effort. A football game is not just a football game; it's a football event. It's really a community effort, community event. Tonight's our home opener, and we're fortunate. We're pretty much at the end of our bond work, where we've put up some amazing new facilities, both sides of town. Turf fields, baseball infields, softball infields, concession stands, outdoor bathrooms, new scoreboards at both schools, locker room upgrades. It's been great. It's been a very busy summer. All these people working, facilities, grounds, custodians, administrators, teachers, coaches, everybody pitching in. And, taking advantage of these, we've got a brand new, beautiful scoreboard that you're seeing right now. And, we're very fortunate. Everything that you're seeing here tonight at Smithtown West, we basically duplicated across town at Smithtown East. So whatever you see here that's a little bit of blue in it, it looks exactly the same across town, except it's got a little bit more red in it.
All right, so you led me into my next question, and why don't we look at some of these great new facilities we have. We have some pictures here of some of the rest of the work here.
This is great. We were able to open up the main turf last spring, so our lacrosse teams, boys and girls, got a chance to get out there. Our girls lacrosse got all the way to the county championship. Our softball and baseball teams also got a chance to get out there last spring. It was the first season. They got to play their whole season on the infield turf. We've gotten great feedback on it. The kids like it. Coaches like it. Again, we're very fortunate to be able to do this, not just here on this side of town, but we're able to replicate it again across town as well for Smithtown East. And, it's great. Tonight's a great night to celebrate it, kick it off. The facilities look great. The kids are playing tough, and we got a good game here.
I know you athletic directors love your golf carts, but you've got to do you take your golf cart out to Smithtown East as well? Do you make that long trip?
Yeah, I thought we got a
beeping at you behind.
That's it. Put a jetpack on it, head down on Northport Road, out to Main Street, up Edgewood, and the back way into East. So, I could probably do that with that drive now in my sleep, but it's all good.
Well, unbelievable stuff here, Jason. We're so happy that you welcomed us in here for this opener, and facilities look amazing.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for broadcasting. It's great everything you guys do for not only our kids but all the kids on Suffolk County and Long Island. We support Varsity Media, and thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
That's Jason Lambert, the athletic director, not just here at West, at East as well. Halftime here at Smithtown West. And it is Sayville leading 14-7. You're watching this Suffolk Division III showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of StretchFlow and the developer of the StretchFlow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our StretchFlow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with StretchFlow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session.
Inside the 10 to the end zone.
Oh, he's got a wide open receiver. A.J. Duff. Get out of the way! Dante Torres! The end zone. Touchdown.
10-5 touchdown. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Run by Tully up the middle. Jack Tully to the house. Touchdown, Chaminade. We welcome you back to Smithtown West High School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford, the entire Varsity Media crew. An extended halftime here. You had to get everybody out there, right? Cheerleaders, dance team, the whole thing here at Smithtown West. It is an event here out in Smithtown. Their home opener as well. Let's take a look, Mike, at some of those first half stats as well. Let's see if anything here jumps out. Actually, you can see the passing yards. Smithtown West. It's funny how it's Messina with the rushing yards, and passing yards obviously going to stall.
Yeah, I mean, Sayville threw a couple of deceptions, and they really have leaned on the running game. Even though he threw a really nice touchdown at the end of the half, they really leaned on the running game to get them going a little bit. Both quarterback and running back mixed in there.
See, two turnovers for Sayville. Those happened early. That one for West. Both teams capitalizing, getting points off of turnovers as well. You see the penalties there. Just the one for West for 15 yards, 3 for Sayville for 25 yards.
I think West has played a little bit cleaner game, and they talked about playing a cleaner game and making less mistakes. I think they've made a few less. The fumble was obviously a pretty big play in the half, but they've made a few less mistakes I think they've been making, and that helps them keep the score to 14-7. And, we always talk about first, right? Well, here we go, first drive of the half, and what does Sayville bring to the table in the first drive, and what does Smithtown West do defensively? With Sayville getting the ball, it'll be interesting to see their decisions offensively, what they're going to bring out here, if they're going to try to get back in the running game. I thought the quarterback runs, Dylan, was a good decision because they had the extra hat in the blocking game. Trying to, with Smithtown playing with a free safety and not screwing that safety down into the box and wanting that free safety, Mallory, playing center field, which I think has been good because he made a few touchdown-saving tackles on Messina.
And Mallory had a fantastic first half.
I think both teams' big players have played pretty big, right?
Oh, yeah.
First half.
Does anybody have an HDMI cable kicking around?
First here's the kickoff, and that'll go out of bounds.
I like the idea of pooching that one a little deeper than kicking the onside, Dylan, but you got to keep it in bounds a little bit more.
So Sayville will get their offense onto the field. Let's take a look at what Jake Triptree did in that first half. See the 4 rushes for 73 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, you expected to see passing yards and all kinds of completions and reception, but he really did tremendous damage in the running game. It was pretty impressive, that quarterback run.
So a conversation here on whether or not they would re-kick or not, and it looks like Sayville will take over on their own 35-yard line. So Messina, the lone back. We are, I think, finally set to have our first play of this second half. Cataldi was in motion. There's the handoff, and Messina is wrapped up well. It was a good first half for Messina as well as he gets up the middle. A lot of those rushing numbers that we showed you were a result of Messina doing his thing. 9 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown for Kyle Messina.
Almost 100.5. I guarantee this half will get even a few more touches because the first half of the game they did a little bit more passing, and then they got the first couple possessions, and they really dialed the run in between Triptree and Messina.
Just a gain of 2 on that first down. Cataldi in motion again, and another rush for Messina, tripped up from behind. That was a terrific tackle by Fitzsimmons. And that could have saved 6.
Great patience, though, by Messina in the run, right? Just reading the hole, cutting it back a little bit. You see here, Sands.
Look at 24.
Just gets
getting
enough.
Down, right?
Mallory was coming over the top and probably would have got him only for a few more yard gain, but great shoestring tackle.
So he's pulled down at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for Sayville at midfield. Golden Flash is 1-0 on the season, beating Kings Park in week 1. Here's Triptree airing it out, and that one is incomplete. Cataldi was the intended target.
Yep, Cassione there, and Mallory head over the top. So
that was a 40-28 win last Friday night out in Sayville. And Reed Sand said there was a lot that he liked from that win. Said, listen, Landon Garrett really showed out. Just an animal, was our best lineman, that is for sure. But you had a lot of kids cramping up, and it really kind of made them get maybe deeper on their depth chart than they would have wanted to. It was 27-0 at one point, so he was happy with that. But just the heat really got to Sayville in that one. Here is Triptree. Finds his intended target, flag on the play, as well as Messina makes the catch.
See what they have here. Looks like it's coming, might be coming back.
Let's take a look. White hat. And it is against Sayville.
It's like illegal touching right there, something of the ball. Messina caught that ball. I missed where he was lined up. I'm not real unclear. See the Sayville staff questioning the call. No one's ever happy when the flag is thrown, right? No one's ever happy.
Reed Sands, in his 7th season as Sayville head coach, a New Utrecht guy, a Brooklyn guy. 1993 graduate of New Utrecht High School, was a previously the DC under Rob Haas. Rob Haas back in now, helping with the QBs, and now Reed is the OC as well as the head coach. And he and his wife Carrie, man, they've got some terrific football playing boys. They've got Charlie up at Endicott and Benny as well, right? Just went to Franklin and Marshall.
They all play bigger than what they are.
Oh, yeah.
They're great, tough kids, play really hard, and typical Sayville guys.
The toughest of them all might be Sammy. 13-year-old, has a genetic disorder. We'll get to that in a moment. As over the middle, and the intended target is a flag. There should be a pass interference penalty, looks like, as on the coverage.
Looks like Max Nicholas there.
Nicholas, yeah. But going back to Sammy Sands, has that genetic disorder, nonverbal, called CDKL5, where you usually need a feeding tube and there's trouble sleeping, but Sammy doesn't have that issue. The Sands believe that a cure may be just around the corner. So Sammy continues to battle, and again, the toughest of all the Sands boys.
No doubt. No doubt.
So after those 2 penalties, kind of evens itself out, right? Where Sayville will have the ball on the Smithtown West. It's like the 37. Handoff. And a great job defensively. The handoff went to Holohan, the senior, who's got great speed and a nice, again, 1-2 punch with Messina. But you see Messina's numbers from the first half, 9 for 95 and a touchdown. But that time Holohan, the quickness is terrific, but got eaten up there by the Smithtown West D.
You have Holohan in the backfield and Messina playing in the slot right now. They're trying to use their skill position guys in a couple different ways, Sayville.
2nd and 10. Fumble, look out. Triptree airs it out. That's incomplete. Smart play by Triptree. Sometimes those quarterbacks, they try to do a little bit too much and make it all back, but Triptree just realized we're better off just throwing this ball away, not taking a loss in terms of the yardage, and you get back to a 3rd and 10.
Pretty smart veteran play. Pick it up. He had the ability to pick it up. He didn't have to fall on it. Wasn't in a crowded situation. He was able to pick it up, roll a little bit, and just throw that ball away, get it past the line of scrimmage, throw it away, and we have to fight another down, right?
One thing Reed Sand said about his veteran quarterback, he thought he was a little bit impatient against Kings Park. Triptree, as a senior, as that veteran, has a little bit more leeway now with the play calling and decision making.
Big play right here on 3rd and 10.
Big third down here.
Big 3rd down situation for
Triptree. Looks for options, cuts it inside, and he's pulled down. Good job defensively by West.
Joe Fitzsimmons right there looks like he was around the play.
As well as Hope, Brian Hope.
They kind of strung it out there a little bit better and maintained an edge a little bit better than the first half. I think they've widened those guys out a little bit. And
Hope, a guy 22, first team All-Division, just a leader of this Smithtown West defense, a guy who makes all the defensive calls, physical, quick kid, just that kind of prototypical high school middle linebacker. So here we go, 4th and 8. And Smithtown West looking to try to stop Sayville here. Triptree, back to pass, rolls right. There's a flag on the play, goes end zone. That is complete, but let's see if this one comes back. It looked to be a touchdown. Hansen made the catch in the end zone.
Dylan, right before the ball snap, I actually didn't say anything because we were all kind of blowing up quick. They put Shook in, I believe it was Shook in the game back at DT, and he's the one that got held, I believe, on the pass rush, and that's going to be coming back.
Yeah, Shook is a big boy, 6'1", 240, a 3-year starter, was a first-team All-Division, part of that Newsday top 100 players on Long Island was Martin Shook.
Plays with a high motor, plays really hard.
He absolutely does, and that's the thing, too, that Perino said, we don't always want to use him on defense, but he can play anywhere along that defensive line. And
they brought him in on a key 4th down right there.
Spot him on certain situations for sure.
Smart play right there. That's good coaching right there. That's good coaching. Find the downs, you can use them.
So timeout here, and while we're talking about Martin Shook, let's get to know the big man a little bit. Favorite pregame meal, give him some burgers, will ya? His favorite pizzeria, favorite slice, how about the Menino's Chicken Bacon Ranch? I'm not much, listen, I'm not going to deny Shook, man. He's a big dude, but I'm more of that kind of traditional, right? I'm not going the Chicken Bacon Ranch, but I trust you, Martin.
I'm feeling his burgers more than the Chicken Bacon Ranch.
Yes.
I'm not holding that against him. He's a good player.
Favorite movie quote, it's not how hard you fall, it's how you get back up from when the game stands tall. Some great stuff there from the senior, Martin Shook.
Got to represent those linemen, Dylan,
You got to give him some credit. There you see the big man right there, wearing 76. We give all the credit. We talk about all the skill guys, right? But how about those guys in the trenches? That's what we love to give them some love in the get-to-know portion here.
No doubt playing quarterback's a pressure-filled position, and it's very complicated and very difficult. But playing on the offensive line, he plays both ways at times, gets some reps on D, and plays on the offensive line. The offensive line is the toughest job in football.
Absolutely. And again, he's a guy who a year ago did not allow a sack all year. 3-year starter. And now we'll have another timeout. Smithtown West will take a timeout. While we're talking about get-to-knows, listen, we brought you Martin Shook, right? An offensive lineman. Let's keep that going a little bit, right? Let's get to know Jackson Neugebauer from Sayville, the center. His favorite pizzeria slice, Sal's. Listen, I am a Sal's guy all day long. I'm next door in Oakdale. Love Sal's. The Grandma Vodka slice. Great shout out for Jason Neugebauer. His favorite movie quote, that's an easy one. I am Groot. Guardians of the Galaxy. His earliest Sayville football memory, man, he remembers back. He was one of those young kids, right? When the Kolar guys, Kevin and the brothers, they were playing. It was Hills West. It was a physical, hard-hitting game. Thought it was maybe homecoming as well. And he said, I just loved it. I wanted to be out there just hitting guys.
Sure, nothing like being part of that when you're a young kid, right? Seeing that, and I want to be that guy someday.
Absolutely. And there's others now. You go to Sayville. There you see 56 there. That number is the Joey Vazone Award, and it's 56 is the number that Joey wore on JV. All he ever wanted to do, Vazone was to wear that number for the Sayville varsity. But the defensive end died, sadly, on July 22nd, 2014, after losing an ongoing struggle with terminal brain cancer. So Liam Higgins, a year ago, was your number 56 Vazone Award winner, and this year it's Jackson Neugebauer. So there's the punts, will not be returned, and takes a great Sayville roll inside the 10. We spoke a little bit with Neugebauer just about what that means to him, about wearing that number. He said it's a huge honor. I feel like I owe it to Joey. It's something that makes me work harder every day, Jackson said, whether it's at practice, at school, even at home. He knows that Joey is with him when he's on the field, and he just gives him that extra motivation to dig even deeper.
Great stuff when you hear about school to keep kids' memories alive, people's memories alive. It's awesome.
And we'll talk more, too, about the other big number on Sayville, number 9 as well, that Mitch Cangelosi. But you see there, no name on the back as well for that number, 56. He got that in preseason or just before the start of the season.
I like the idea of Sayville punting there. I thought that was a good decision. They got to pin him back deep rather than give him the ball in the middle of the field and make him drive the field with up by a score if you're Sayville.
Hand off, nice couple jukes as well, cutting to the outside. And finally, Antunes is cut down, but a nice looking run on first down, and Antunes will move the chains.
Good run by Antunes, solid moves, ball security right there. And that's a bit of a tendency breaker, right? Run the ball on first down and pop that for a first down. And, if you're the offensive coordinator of any team, you want to be ahead, right? You want to be ahead of a defense. What are we doing? What's coming? And not give the defense those tendencies to work off of. And that was certainly a tendency breaker if you are West.
So they get a new set of downs from their own 19-yard line. Short pass, nice cut up field as Stahl found his intended target. Looks like that was for Alvarado. And Hansen made the tackle for Sayville.
Yep, another extension of their running game, right? That's a bubble out there. Just throw it out there and see what you can get, and you pick up 5. And to them, that's a safe running play for them, the way Stahl's able to throw the football.
2nd and 5 from the 25 as it cools down a little bit now that the sun is down. A nice evening out here as Smithtown West, their home opener against the defending champions, the Golden Flashes of Sayville. Stahl back to pass, goes over the middle. That is intercepted. So another turnover, and this time it was Tommy McCann. He plays that rover safety position, his first INT of the season.
You had Mallory running a drag there over the middle, and you can see it was read adeptly there by McCann. Got some good depth and got that ball and picked that ball off for Sayville.
And Sayville with some terrific field position. They're starting this next drive from the Smithtown West 17. As Triptree wearing that number 9. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Calls his own number, has Messina as a blocker, cuts it inside, and the tackle is made by Brian Hope. But we were mentioning the award for number 9, and that is for Mitch Cangelosi, and it goes to a good student grade athlete, and that's who Cangelosi was, part of the class of 99, died sadly in a car accident in 2006 at the age of 25. So the winner needs to succeed both academically as well as the classroom, be respected by peers and teachers, be kind to those around him. Previous winners, Jack Cohn, of course, the former terrific quarterback for Sayville. Benny Sands was it last year, and this year it is Triptree.
Another good tradition.
2nd and 4 from the 12. Here's Messina up the sideline, goes head over heel. Excuse me. Oh,
that ball came out.
it did.
It went through the end zone.
And it did. And you could see the Smithtown West guys calling for a touchback.
That's a touchback. That's going to be Smithtown West ball.
We'll see if we could take a look again. As Messina had the ball.
He had bounce right there, and he had the edge, and he got flipped.
Let's take a look again, Mike. Let's see who made this play. Hard to see there, but you can see the ball just going out of the back of the end zone. Fortunate there, too, because Hansen was right on it, man.
the play the Sayville's, looking at X and O's wise, Sayville had the play blocked up real well at the point of attack. Sands has been tough at the point of attack there on getting Messina the edge. And as he flipped over, it, ball came out. No review here in high school football.
No.
So, not a reviewable play.
Oh, they're not coming to this booth is too crowded. We can't have a referee up here as well. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. So let's see what Stahl does here. We'll hand off. And then Tunez again. Good looking junior, man. 5'10", 170. You mentioned his off season in the weight room and his ability to run right now. He's just spearheading something that they didn't have a year ago, was a running attack. It's so important, especially for a quarterback like Stahl, to just give him that other option.
I think you got to keep trying to run it a little bit if you're West. Right now, Mallory's got believe it or not, such respect. They have Messina on over him shallow, and they have a safety. They have Cataldi deep over him, so they're high-lowing him there a little bit and doubling him. And, you got to try to run the ball. Right now, the boxes, they got some guys walked up in that looks like they're coming.
Here we go, 2nd and 7. Stahl, quick out, incomplete. You mentioned Mallory. We had Jason Lambert here, terrific AD at Smithtown, and got a shout-out Jackstad as well, right? Pete, the athletic director out at Connecticut, has done an unbelievable job. And listen, once upon a time, he was the football coach out in these neck of the woods. And
he was assistant coach at Farmingdale with us, and then he was the head coach of Smithtown East for a while before he became an athletic director. And sons of all played football.
He has done a great job, man. You had a tour before a lacrosse game in the spring of the athletic facilities, the new pool, everything out there in Connecticut. Mallory has a lot to do with that. 3rd and 7. Here's Stahl back to pass. Ducks under. Will now look to run the football. Takes a big hit by Messina.
Yep, big shot by Messina coming downhill. I think looking at Messina's physical development, his chance to play at the highest level of football, I do believe might be on the defensive side of the football in the secondary. He looks like a natural right now.
In our conversation last year with Reed Sands, as we were speaking to him about the West Hampton game, he said at the time he thought that he'd get bulkier and stronger and maybe a potential like Penn State kind of a linebacker, right? But now, as you said, maybe secondary right now is only offer, and it's a smart one if you're Stony Brook, right? Get on him early. It's 4th and 3, and there goes the punt. It's a nice one as well. It takes a Smithtown West bounce on this beautiful turf here.
Good hit and roll right there. Good job by the Smithtown Specials. They won a good special teams play tonight, and they flipped the field there on that punt.
This one of a few games here. It's Wednesday Night Lights out here in Suffolk County. You've got Longwood and Sachem North. A couple of hard-hitting teams there. Connecticut, just mentioned them, against CI. Eastport South Manor and Kings Park. Then you got East Hampton and Hauppauge and Harborfields and Rocky Point. All part of your Wednesday Night Lights here in Suffolk County. You'll have Thursday afternoon, evening games as well.
Yep, 2 conferences in Suffolk playing on Wednesday, 2 playing on Thursday. Nassau pretty much, I think, all playing on Thursday for the most part.
I know Syosset is taking on Farmingdale. It's tomorrow, right?
That's correct.
So here comes Sayville. This tight game and push forward there by Messina. Mike, you joked about it in the open, and we said about how these teams could put up points, and we are seeing a defensive struggle here between these two sides.
Well, this is Suffolk Conference 3. We talked about how many good teams there were, right? So the difference between the 1 seed, the 12-0 defending Long Island champion, and the 4 seed is not really that great, right? It appears at this stage.
See the penalty there against Smithtown West. It'll be a 15-yarder, which will bring the ball out to midfield for Sayville.
Huge penalty right there. Just changes field position and really affects that punt you had before. You had a decent tackle on 1st down. They gained a few yards, but nothing crazy. And the personal foul there is definitely hurts your defensive chances.
You said it before about Sayville, right? A lot of returning skill guys, but Listen, Reed Sands was quick to point out, we need our line to get up to speed with the varsity game, and that was an incomplete pass. And another flag is thrown. That one I'm not sure about. I thought it was really good coverage.
I think you had illegal man downfield.
Okay, there you go. I thought it was going to be a pass interference, but yeah, no.
See, there's that classic, I think, off the RPO look where, the lineman think it's run, right? And you pull it and you throw it, and that lineman gets down the field.
So just on cue, right? We're talking about linemen, and that's where they are inexperienced and young, Sayville is, as you see that ball down the field, incomplete. And Reed Sand says, listen, it's great to have all those skill guys, obviously, but it's not 7-on-7. This is real football. We need guys up front to block and to do their job on both sides of the ball. And as you said, listen, you got to give credit. Landon Garrett, the senior at left tackle, has done the job. Nate Wyatt at left guard. Neugebauer was a backup center last year, was a tight end. He's now gone to that full-time center as the captain. Alex Del Giorno, the junior, at right guard, and Mike Caparasso at right tackle, who Sand says he's like Ram Man or He-Man, like one of those like old, what was that, Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Rock'em Robots. There you go, baby. We're dating ourselves.
Yeah. Well, Sands brought up the reference.
How many defensive coordinators across Long Island are watching the broadcast going, they don't call that in my game. That guy's downfield all the time in the RPO.
So Cataldi is in motion. He gets the handoff, gets a nice block as well upfield. That was Garrett, who we've shouted out a few times, right?
Cataldi got a few yards there in the fly sweep, a jet sweep, and haven't ran that tonight.
Cataldi guy had some hamstring problems in the summer. And he starts at free safety, so it's about spelling him a little bit on this side. But just like Luke Hansen, you got him on one side, you got Cataldi on the other. That's some terrific receivers. And now you see Dylan Kent on the bottom of your screen at split end, who's got great speed, and another guy who also stretches the field.
Yeah, you have great skill guys and great receivers and an excellent quarterback. But maybe I'm showing my feelings about football, but I just want to keep giving it to number 20.
Triptree airs it out on his back foot, finds a receiver, Dylan Kent. And Kent, we just shouted him out, makes the reception. What a read by Triptree, right on his back foot.
They roll him out here to avoid some pressure. I think that's a little wheel route there. Ran by Kent.
Kent didn't make a reception in that win over Kings Park. So that brings up a 1st and 10 from the Smithtown West 20.
Just on cue as I'm talking about run the football, he has a great pass play, and they get about 30 yards.
Well, here's your run. Here's Messina. Cuts it upfield, and he's hit and taken down by Mallory.
Sayville's got a good mix going here now, right? A little run, a little pass,
That's the thing, too. You don't need, or you don't want, I should say, Messina to run the ball 34 times, right? Like, you want to keep him fresh.
Sure.
He's playing on both sides of the ball, so you utilize a few of these extra things, and then you have a burst like that from Messina, who didn't get a touch in a few minutes.
And I think Triptree's at his best when they are running the football and is able to throw off of and it's easier receivers to hand the ball to, throw the ball to, and a lot more guys are a little more open. When people are playing the run a little harder, it just helps them a little bit.
Joey Fitz, how about that tackle, right? Shoestring to trip up Messina. Brings up a 2nd and goal. No gain for Messina. Fitzsimmons, just a sophomore physical kid, runs to the ball really, really well.
I think what we're starting to see out of Sayville is kind of what we thought we were going to see all game long out of their offense, a little bit, driving a little bit with a solid mix of run and pass. I think the key has been that they're defensively, they've stopped Smithtown pretty well this half and really, taking control of the game.
Triptree goes end zone, one-handed catch. Luke Hansen. What a grab. Might as well call him Luke Skywalker.
Wow. That's some play right there. Well-thrown ball. Goes up and gets it. Touchdown, Sayville.
See it again.
I like to see it more than one more time. That's a special play right there.
I think you'll see it on our Varsity Media Plays of the Week, I would think. Take a look at one. It'll be at the top of your screen. Oh, come on.
It's a little bit of a jump ball situation. I think the corner got himself a little bit out of position. He shuffled inside a little bit, made it a little harder for him to get to the corner, but a great one-handed reception.
And the PAT is good. Sayville with a 21-7 lead with 2:06 left in this third quarter. Opener for Smithtown West, or home opener for Smithtown West, their third game. Sayville's second of the season, looking to go 2-0, looking to extend their winning streak to 14 straight games. Exciting action here in Suffolk, but we're really excited to mention to you guys that we've got the broadcasting rights, the exclusive rights to Nassau County championship games this fall. It's in football, also a lot of other sports as well, so we're going to have all those semifinals and championship games. It'll be at Stewart Stadium, all those games, and we will camp out there at Hofstra for all of those games from Conference 1 all the way down to Conference 4. Varsity Media bringing you all of Nassau County's semifinals and finals exclusively on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
That's great. Thank you, Section 8, and it's about time. There we go. Good for Varsity Media.
Short kickoff, fielded at about the 20-yard line. Another short return there as well. And listen, it's a tight game, but it's now a 2-touchdown lead for Sayville. So the impetus certainly on Smithtown West now to move the football and perhaps also now get in the end zone.
Well, I think Sayville, it was starting to slowly but surely dominate parts of the game, right, Dylan? But it wasn't reflecting in the scoreboard. All of a sudden, you're a play away from a tie game, right? And now they've kind of, got a 2-score lead to work with right now, with a little bit of a deep breath breathing room if you're Sayville, right? And now Smithtown West kind of has to answer the bell here a little bit and put a drive together. Need to rest their defense a little bit and get the ball moving a little bit.
So 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. A big series here for Smithtown West. Handoff and a terrific tackle. Of course it would be. Is that Sands in on that?
Yep, looked like Sands. We almost popped that one through. Hoffman, looks like that was Hoffman right there. Almost popped that one through, but just got tripped up by Sands, I thought it was.
So 2nd and 9, just a gain of 1. Mikey Sands has that great combination, right, of his older brothers, where he's got Benny's instincts and a lot of Charlie's toughness and his speed as well. I think we should broadcast the Thanksgiving in the backyard of the Sands house. Long shot downfield, and how about that? That's the way you stretch out the field, get it to number 2.
There's the combination, right?
Not seen him for a while, but here we go.
Yep, great ball. Malloy gets up on the sidelines, beats for double coverage right there. Gets it kind of in between the double coverage, right?
Yeah.
And goes and gets it, and you have to just throw it to him. I think he's going to catch. He caught the one for the touchdown before, but seemed like he was out of bounds, but he caught it.
A huge first down, especially too, because now you're in Sayville territory. You're at the Golden Flashes 36. Stahl back to pass. Good protection. Double pump. Lobs it out again, looking for Alvarado, and that one was incomplete.
Put that ball a little more on the outside of Alvarado. Alvarado got redirected inside and couldn't get back to the outside. So a nice play, a corner by Badawada. Kind of redirecting him.
Another speed kid. Reed Sands, that is, believes that Bartolotta at 5'8", 160, the junior, might be the only guy in this team who could dunk a football. Speed and has the ups as well. That's a nice combination when you're playing strong safety.
No doubt, and the Sayville defense, Maury hit up a big play right there, but they've been kind of up to the task in the second half, kind of slowing down this high-powered Smithtown West offense.
Stahl this time hands off. Carry was by Hoffman.
I wish Hoffman could have seen if he could have bounced out to the right a little bit. He had a lot of green grass. He just couldn't get there.
Tommy McCann with the tackle.
I like the idea of slipping that run in, though. He almost popped it. Have 2 downs to work with here if you're West.
Hey, Hoffman, the sophomore, another speed kid, quick feet. And he surprised head coach Craig Perino with his speed as well, and with his strength, his ability to finish some runs. Stahl again. Over the middle, and what a job. Just bringing that ball down by Mallory, man. Cataldi was right there, laid the hammer. And listen, when you catch that ball over the middle, Mike, you know you're going to get hit. Mallory did not care, made sure he made this catch.
They put him in motion across the formation, and they brought him back across the middle. They run up the seam a little bit and got him open. But you see when Mallory went in motion, the whole defense was kind of shifting around, right? With a bit of a fire alarm going off defensively, and he was still open.
So Smithtown West is looking to get back in the end zone. It is Sayville 21-7, end of 3 quarters. You're watching this Suffolk Division III showdown presented by Stretch Flow right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey everyone, I'm Kyle Collier. I'm the owner of Stretch Flow and the developer of the Stretch Flow system. We're very excited to announce that we have partnered with Varsity Media to help the next generation of high school athletes to recover faster, perform better, and make more plays. Our Stretch Flow system has been developed and tested over thousands of hours with real-world athletes. Our technique uses assisted stretch, soft tissue therapy, and targeted muscle recovery to provide a relaxing, stress-free experience that returns your body back to ideal function so you can stay on the field and win. We know sports are tough, so stay in peak performance and condition with Stretch Flow. You can message us directly on Instagram at stretch_flow, or you can call us at 516-336-9627. But make sure you use the code VM-FLOW to receive your $49 introductory session. Hey everyone.
We welcome you back to Smithtown West High School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford, our entire Varsity Media crew. It's been a fun one here. Sayville with a 21-7 lead after 3 quarters. But the Bulls, they are marching. They've got the ball on the Sayville 21-yard line.
Third down, it looks like first down, here by Smithtown West.
Stahl, hands off, and Tunis wrapped up by big 51 Dom Francis.
Stands right there along with him, and I still like the idea of running it, though. Every second or third play, they're running the football, and it's a pretty even mix of run and pass, and just trying to keep the Sayville defense a little honest and calm down that rush a little bit. Keep those linebackers occupied closer to the box.
Gain of 1 on first down. This is Smithtown West's home opener. 1-1 on the road, first 2 games. Another handoff, Antunes again. And another really good-looking tackle. This time, it was Keith Kolar, number 10.
He's so close to popping it, right? Good tackles by Sayville, but it seems like he's like it's one-on-one, and he just could get through it, hop it, slip through it, little jump cut, maybe get past it.
Unfortunately, I think for Reed Sands, Keith Kolar is pretty much it of all those great Kolar cousins who have made their way through. That's it. No more Kolars.
When you have those kind of families and everything, when you get to the last one, it's like the next year you're kind of looking around. You're like, all right, where is that guy? What do you mean? I don't get another one?
Well, he's got one of the coaching staff. That helps, but 3rd and 8. Big third down here for Smithtown West. Stahl, pressure comes, goes over the middle, and that one is short. Alvarado was the intended target.
They brought 2 off the edge there, and they were able to get him blocked a little bit, but they got there to him, and he wasn't able to really step into that throw. There was a lot of arm and not a lot of body on it, and a little bit short.
Stahl 15 for 20 through 3 quarters, 175 and a touchdown. Mallory, 7 receptions, 76 yards and a touchdown. Messina currently 14 for, is that 141?
Looks like man coverage here.
Here we
Across
go.
the board, no safety.
Stahl airs it out over the middle. Incomplete. The Smithtown West crowd wants a flag. You could see Briffa saying that he was held, but we have a turnover on downs.
Good play call and a good route. There was no one in the middle of the field defensively, so run a receiver in there up the middle, up the seam there. And well, there was appear to be some contact, but striped shirts didn't think there was enough to throw it right there.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Smithtown West. You go to West Hampton, man. You go to the first seed and then the second seed back-to-back. You're home again for Rocky Point. Then you go out to EI. You got Hills West and Hauppauge at home to end the regular season.
Not a schedule for the faint of heart.
No.
But there is no easy schedule in Suffolk Conference 3, one of the top teams.
That Rocky Point game, homecoming here at Smithtown West. So let's see if Sayville maybe get a more of a diet here of the running game as Triptree pushes himself forward.
It's 10 minutes to go, Dylan, in the game, and it's 21-7 Sayville. But West has been toe-to-toe with them.
Oh, they absolutely have been. And now this West defense, we heard from Craig Perino, they need to stop. They need a turnover and to get the ball back at midfield or better. Another handoff. Another nice run, and thought he might have been down. The play continued. And that was Holohan. A lot of the fans here thought he was down as well. Let's take another look, Mike. What'd you see?
He pops it through there, and
wow.
Looks like he did a little bit of a seat roll on the other defender and then was able to get right back up.
That's where it helps when you're 5'7", as Holohan is. Smaller, shorter, closer to the ground. That was incredible by Holohan.
I was just about to say, Sayville's done, in my opinion, a better job versus the run this half than they did in the first half West, and he's able to pop that one there.
That is a fresh set of downs as Triptree airs it out. That a low pass, incomplete. Let's take a look at Sayville's upcoming schedule. And they will go, as we mentioned before, they will go to Hills West, a rivalry game against East Islip. Then you go to ESM, you're home for West Hampton on homecoming, and then you're at Campswag and home again for Harborfield. That homecoming game, the only one on campus. They have that great facility there. We've been to a few times off campus, down by the train station, but you go on campus for homecoming. Got to get all the floats out there, all the flatbeds. It's a nice event at Sayville. Good gain. Pushing forward was Messina.
West getting a little point of attack, a little bit of push right there from the up front from the Sayville offensive line.
And there's a flag on the it's a holding penalty against the Golden Flashes. So this will bring them back to midfield. And you see again, spot foul, right? In high school, you can see how far back now this pushes Sayville.
With 8:50 to go and the clock about to get wound into play here again, West, if you're a West supporter, a West fan, a West parent, Smith wants to win this game, they kind of need a play soon. It's second down, you have second and third down, a stop, a punt, or maybe a fumble, interception. You need a play.
Sands in motion. Faked handoff. Triptree rolls right, looking for receivers, airs it out, and that's incomplete.
Great coverage on the 3-level flood there by Smithtown West. Really good coverage. Nobody open there. That's a pattern that over the a run fake, maybe you get open pretty quick. But great defense by Smithtown West.
And a flag. You wonder if this will be, decline. That's what I was going to think. An illegal man downfield will decline that one.
Yep. Looks like they're moving him back. Nope, they're putting the ball. They're going to decline that one for sure. So, good decision to decline it. Leaves him with 3rd down and about 20.
Yeah, back from the 41-yard line. Huge play here for Smithtown West.
And on the incomplete pass, the clock is stopped. So, normally in a running play they would rewind the clock, but right now, that favors West a little bit if they can get a stop right here.
Cataldi in motion. Look out, pressure comes, dumped over. Somehow a completed pass to Messina. And Messina gets to the edge. Look at this run by Messina. It was a broken play. The pressure came, and Messina put on his Superman cape and made a huge play for Sayville.
Ran the screen there to the short side of the field, away from the motion. Great play call, and Messina does the rest. Great to have somebody like that catching and running with the football. Back-breaking play.
And that was the other one. How about Hallahan? I mean, you had a few of these amazing plays on this drive. And if not for that run, right? Like, where would Sayville be here?
That's a back-breaking play if you're Smithtown West. And now if you Sayville, you work the clock a little bit in terms of work into the play clock a little bit. Snap the ball with not much time left to go. Looks like they're taking a timeout here, Sayville.
And that'll give us a chance to take a glance a little bit here at Smithtown West High School. And there you see Walt Whitman was a teacher back way back in the day. One-room schoolhouse back then. And it's East and West. There you go, both, of course, the Bulls. Some famous alums. Our good friend Rob Pinnell. How about Soledad O'Brien and Frank Catalanato as well? Listen, before anyone sends the hate mail, this is Smithtown alums, right? It was separate schools. It was one school for a long time. It was separate schools. So we didn't reach out to Soledad or Frank Catalanato to figure out which one. But these are some pretty good alums as well from Smithtown West.
Sure, yep. There was a time when they were combined into one school, just simply Smithtown, right? And they were East and West, so a lot of different times. And
like Sachem, now it's Sachem North and Sachem East, and at one time it was just Sachem, and it's kind of scary to think what that could be now, right? If it's just Sachem and if it's even just one Smithtown.
Yep.
So let's see off this timeout.
Walt Whitman, huh?
Yeah.
That's going back a ways.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Even Jason Lambert wasn't taught by Walt Whitman.
He's younger than me, so he couldn't have been. I wasn't either. But and why is Whitman called Walt Whitman? That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah. So here we go. 1st and 10. A short run, but again, the clock continues to churn as that was Triptree pushing forward.
Yeah, clock's working against West right now. Down 2 scores. They can strike pretty fast, though. Their offense is, strong passing game. And Sayville is in no rush. But if you're Craig Perino, I give Smithtown West a lot of credit. If you're Craig Perino, he likes his kids, he likes his team, and they're very tough kids, and they play hard. And they've certainly done that today.
And there's Messina. And again, it looked like a good job, right, defensively by Zins. But still, Messina just trips forward in forward motion and gets the yards that he needed, as Sayville in no hurry here to move the ball.
Good looking play right there, though. They brought 2 linemen around in the GT, and they just, Messina always seems like he's so close to popping it.
Let's take a look at Sayville High School, right? Town named by a clerical mistake. Their first class in 1895. And famous alum, I don't know, is it Jack Cohn or Melissa Joan Hart? Who's the more famous of those two? We gave the picture to Jack. I think our Chris Sweeney, though, wanted it to be Melissa Joan Hart. There was some conversation in the lead up to this one about who gets that honor.
A lot of people on this broadcast who might not know who Melissa Joan Hart was. Excuse me. Goes out of bounds there, though.
Yeah, so that stops the clock. 1st and 10 at the 15. Ooh, a flag. Sideline warning.
Hard not to be frustrated if you're Smithtown West. You're seemingly so close in this game, and yet you're down by 2 scores. And if you coach Perino, your kids have battled. They've gone hat to hat. They've battled. They've given everything they've got. It doesn't seem like it's going to end their way right now, but you've done a pretty good job against the 1 seed.
Bounces it outside, cuts it inside, dives forward. He's tripped up just outside or right at the 10-yard line.
He went down pretty hard right there. Messina looks like he's a little bit worse for wear from that one. He went down pretty hard.
So Sayville, again, no hurry. Right, you want to utilize this entire play clock.
And to West credit, to West defense too, they've played, this is their 3rd game in a short period of time. So it's got to be a little draining on them at this point right now in the game.
Yeah, they have one less day, right? They played Saturday afternoon as there's Cataldi in motion. Handoff, got into the backfield.
Played defense in the second half.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think if you're West, you go and you watch this film and you're like, we were right there. We were a couple plays away from winning this football game.
Well, at every level of football, when a good teams play, a few plays is going to separate all those teams, right? So, a play here and a play there is going to make the difference. A penalty here, a turnover, plays like that are going to make the difference.
And also, this probably a good advertisement on why Sayville are the defending Long Island champions after an undefeated season a year ago. Short return there. And Kyle Messina is the guy for our Speed Island. Speedy play of the game. We had a couple options there on that last drive, but we go back to this play here, Mike, as the Speed Island, speedy play of the game. Again, pressure comes, and then pressure makes diamonds, right? And that's what Messina is delivering there. It is your Speed Island speedy play of the game located in Garden City. Improve your speed today with Onyx Salva and the crew at Speed Island.
He can change speeds. He slows down a little bit. He speeds up. His hips are very loose. He makes guys miss.
I want to, of course, also thank the folks at Stretch Flow for sponsoring this game. That is an incomplete pass. Is now a little more pressure coming Stahl's way.
Well, if you're a defensive player now, if you're a defensive lineman now, you're up by 3 scores, and the other team has to throw, and it's kind of a one-dimensional offense you're playing against, and it's kind of a fun time if you're a D lineman, right? Pin your ears back and go.
I see across the way, maybe some of the Sayville folks looking to head home, thinking this one is in the bag. That would today, I think, I don't know about for you, it was like about 35 minutes going south to north this afternoon.
Long Island traffic.
fumble, still loose, and Sayville might have got it. Let's see.
A flag down, it looks like. Recovered by Smithtown West.
That is a heck of a job. Give Sandy, big Sandy Carrero, 70. A lot of credit, man. Sophomore, 5'9", 270. When it's a wrestling match down there, you want that kind of guy. And watch it again. Watch 70 coming in.
Fought it back in that pile a little bit. Found the way to get it back.
I like that, too. Look at that right there, right? Making sure, getting some leverage.
I think right there, Smithtown was trying to run some deeper routes. It's taking time to get there, and the pass protection is breaking down a little bit.
Stall. Incomplete, trying to find Silos. I'll tell you, it looks like Smithtown West will go to 1-2, but I'll tell you, they've got a lot cooking out here, and they will be a team to be reckoned with here in their first year in Suffolk 3. And again, that if you're unfamiliar with it, it's the same in Nassau County. It's all about enrollment. And Suffolk 3, the lower or the higher number, I guess you go, right? But 3, 4, like the lower your enrollment is. So they were just probably on that border there from 2 and 3. Fake punts, but it read well by Sayville.
Well, I'll tell you what, West is going to be 1-2, and they're a pretty good 1-2. They're a pretty good 1-2. They're a pretty good 1-2 team. I mean, I don't know how many teams on Long Island. I don't know what teams are going to be 1-2 after this weekend. Some teams are going to play 2 games, but some are going to have played 3. They're a pretty good 1-2.
And Patrick Cohn in the game as Triptree gets the break.
And of course, we'll have our annual homecoming celebration, carnival style.
17 making his way in for the final 2:26. Ball at the 25.
I know I'm going to mention all Long Island stuff, and it's only game 3, right, Dylan? But I'll tell you right now, we saw a couple of Long Island players there tonight. That's for sure.
Cohn calls his own number, pushes forward. And listen, Cohn, he practices like Jack does, and he tries to perfect his craft, and he's just right now behind a senior, right? And Triptree, you wonder how many other programs maybe Cohn would start or see time.
Quite a few, I would imagine, and he's here, and he's biding his time. He's getting his reps where he can get them, and he's a 10th grader, so he'll have 2 years, right?
Yeah, good size, 6'3", 185. Here he is, Patrick. Rolls out, look out. The pressure came by Hope. Hope's not going to celebrate that. He knows it comes in a defeat, but good stuff there by Brian Hope.
But this is like, this is season building and program building minutes, Dylan, as I look at it, right? It would have been pretty easy if the Smithtown West guys give a touchdown up now and let them run around, but they're battling. They're still playing, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Well, Double Deuce there, he's not going to give up. He is that heart and soul of your Smithtown West defense.
Sure.
So he picks up a full sack there. Had a half a sack earlier in the first 2 games, so 1.5 sacks now for Hope. We're inside the final minute now of this 4th quarter. Handoff, Bartolotta cuts it to the outside, and who else, right?
We still got hope.
20, you still got hope, baby.
That's awesome, though. That's good. That's what makes football special. There's nothing better than winning a game in football, but it's also that be able to fight your way through a loss. Because it's a physical activity, and it's losing isn't fun. Losing's not fun in any activity, but football is a little different. And
I think when Perino, though, and his coaches show some clips and some highlights here, you might want to show Hope here at the end of the game, just showing, right, this is your leader, right? He's still playing. He's still looking to battle, and it means so much. And, again, it's one of the reasons why he is one of these leaders of this team. And refs will call it. Oh, timeout. Excuse me. as Sayville calls a timeout with 7 seconds left.
Well, Dylan, I echoed it earlier in the broadcast. There's not that much difference between the 1 and the 4, in my mind. Pretty close.
Absolutely. And while we have this opportunity, let's show our upcoming broadcast schedule. Saturday afternoon, we're back in the Catholic High School Football League for 2 big ones. As St. Joe's Montvale makes the trip out to South Huntington to play St. Anthony's. And then the Paladins of Paramus Catholic taking on Chaminade. A week from Friday, I keep thinking today's like Thursday or Friday. A week from Friday, it's Iona and St. Anthony's, the rematch of last year's AAA championship. Another Sayville broadcast, Sayville Hills West on 9/23. That should be a fun one out there and right by St. Anthony's, right? From Mineola on September 30th. All those games right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Final 7 seconds of this one. Cone will go back. He'll go back. Doesn't want to take a knee, so he'll just let that clock wind down to end this one as Sayville improves to 2-0. Their winning streak now 14 consecutive games with a 28-7 win over Smithtown West.
Not exactly what we thought it could be in the beginning of the game. It was a little different game. It was certainly hard hitting and physical, and both teams gave it to each other back and forth a little bit in the first half in terms of turnovers and the greatness of Sayville, right? That's why they keep winning all the time. Just when you think you might have them, you don't. They find a way, and that's the beauty of their program and why they're so successful, and that's why some people don't think it's so hard to beat them, right?
Yeah, Triptree, 3 touchdown passes, 3 different receivers. Messina coming up big as well, right down the stretch as Sayville improves to 2-0, and the Golden Flashes will next take on Hills West. We mentioned that on the 23rd at Hills West and Smithtown West. They are now 1-2 on the season. The Bulls looking to bounce back on the 29th. So that bye week comes in for Smithtown West as they next take on West Hampton on the road October 7th at 6 o'clock. So that'll do it for us here from Smithtown West High School. For our entire Varsity Media crew, our executive producer, Chris Sweeney, our technical director, Ron Pierre. For AJ Nieves and Angelo Caezo, bringing you all the moving images from my broadcast partner, Mike Hungerford. Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Smithtown West High School, and we look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.